Coming along. I hope, did all of you attend the On Snow teaching clinic running through the 9 essentials? Excellent. So you might have you saw those out on the hill today, and yeah, we didn't cover the movement analysis and the correction and feedback so much on the hill. This is a little bit more catered towards those two parts of the 9 essentials. So you'll see a little bit more of that. You'll see some pictures and videos of our skills and performances. So hopefully, yeah, that sort of feeds a bit more information in that area. My name's Ben. You might have been out with me today. I can recognise a few faces, so that's good. And yeah, go ahead, Sam. Thanks. So yeah, I'm going to talk about our skills in Telemark. We break Telemark skiing into skills. The Telemark performance model, which is how we blend the skills to get the outcome or performance that we want on the snow. And yeah, movement analysis, so what we're looking for in the skier as they skiing down the hill, and what we're training the instructors to be looking for. Yep. So yeah, we've got it broken down into the 4 skills. So we've got stance, and that includes the Telemark movement. We've got rotary skills, and that's how we get the skis to change directions using various body parts. Edging, that's just how we tip the skis over, using different body parts again. And yeah, pressure control, managing pressure from making turns and the terrain and the snow conditions. So yeah, breaking the Telemark skills, helps us understand, helps us teach, helps us change our own skiing, learn it, analyse it, and keep it simple for our guests, even though this all sounds pretty complicated, but hopefully on the hill you saw the how, what, why, and how we're trying to keep that really short and simple. Thank you, Sam. So yeah, that's just the way we stand on our skis, and yeah, this is the Telemark movement is unique to the freeheel equipment, and that movement does influence the ability to perform the other skills. And our movement can be changed, according, situationally and according to our desired performance. So the variables are the height. We can ski quite tall, ski quite low. The length, we can have a long Telemark movement or a shorter Telemark movement. Duration, we can move the feet quite fast in any particular part of the turn. Or the timing, we can have our feet pass at the top through the middle, or a little bit later on in the turn. Makes sense? So yeah, we've got a little bit of chart, and different positions have different advantages and disadvantages. So yeah, taller position, pressure control tends to be a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier to turn the legs and angulate. It's a little bit more efficient. Okay, if we're skiing with a tighter stance, our movements might be a little bit slower. If we're in a longer stance, it's going to have to be a lot faster. Longer looks a little bit more cooler and old school for the traditionalists out there, the Swiss. We're into the traditionals. It's a little chart there. So yeah, rotary. Yeah, I kind of mentioned earlier, but there's a few different ways, different body parts that we can use. So, and yeah, they all have an impact on the outcomes that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But yeah, generally, we like to keep the feet a little bit more tighter, because we're quite into leg rotation in Australia. That's the ideal way to get the skis to turn and change direction. So that's a little bit easier in a tighter, taller Telemark stance. Thanks, Sam. So edging, just the way you tip the skis over, get them to grip in the snow. So yeah, different ways of doing it. It's all the same stuff as you guys, I'm sure. We can incline, we can tip our ankle, knee and hip over. We can blend all three. We can also, angulate a very inclined position, make it a good blend of both. Yeah, and we've got pressure control, managing pressure from turns, terrain and snow conditions. Changing our movement, up and down, fore and aft, or from foot to foot.
Can I ask you something? Sorry about
Yeah, please.
in the double role here.
Yeah.
How would you explain pressure control to one of your clients?
Yep. That's how we feel our feet under the snow pushing up against our feet. Do we feel it constantly? Do we feel it hard pressing against us? Do we feel it softer as we're maybe going a little bit faster and increasing the edge? Do we feel the snow pushing back against us? Does that make sense? So yeah, we've got all those skills, and depending on how we blend them, we can get different performances in our Telemark skiing. And yeah, we blend the skills a little bit differently for each performance. Okay. So yeah, skidding, these are turns, with little to no edge. The skis are slipping down the snow. The tail of the ski doesn't generally follow the tip. It's more of a Z or a Z like thing happening. It's generally not desirable, but the less experienced telemarkers might do that quite a lot because they haven't got enough of the edge grip throughout the turn. But it's a good thing to learn, situationally. Slipping down a steeper slope, or getting down a narrow chute. So maybe we don't want to skid our turns, but it's definitely advantageous to learn the skidding to use around the mountain. So yes, we've got our next performance, which is with our newer skiers. That's what the outcome we're looking for. So these, it's a good blend of all four skills. Good leg rotation is really, really important. Okay. And in the snow, if you look at a good steered turn, the track will be about 30 centimetres. Okay, does everyone know what I'm talking about? If you look at a skier and you can look at their track, it'll be about 30 centimetres wide. And that's a good indication that they're steering well and blending those skills together. With this performance, we're looking at the feet in the Telemark movement to be passing in the foreline, and that's because we believe that enables better rotation of the legs. It's easier to turn your legs if you're a little bit more delayed in that lead change at a slower speed heading down the mountain. Does that make sense? There, we've got the little chart there. It's a good even blend on with all four skills by teaching those four skills together. So we've got a little video. This is our sort of first Telemark turn. We filmed this the other morning. Okay, so I'm in quite a tall, tight position to enable that leg rotation. With the Telemark movement, it's a movement with both feet. But throughout the middle of the turn, the skis are quite parallel and both heels are on the snow for quite a while there. And that's just, encouraging that rotation of the legs, but also just a little bit of balance through the middle of the turn. For a newer telemarker, that might be a struggle. So later on we can start to make it a little bit more of a true telemark turn, but at the moment, definitely through the middle, having both heels on the snow just for that stability. Did you want to see that again, anyone?
It was really good.
So then we got this skier as well, doing the basic telemark. So yeah, that pause is shortened a little bit as the guest gets a little bit more comfortable with the telemark movement. yeah, there's quite a rise at the start of the turn to help flatten the skis as they blend the Telemark movement. But we'll watch that one more time and hopefully we'll go back, Sam.
Nope. There we go.
Back. Yeah, and we're big at looking at the track in the snow, so hopefully down here as he's coming towards us, you can see that 30 centimetre groove in the snow. Down here again, so yeah, it's approximately 30 centimetres, nice and round, consistent. So that's good steering. We're training instructors to look at that as well. Thanks. So yeah, carving. So this is our next performance, and it's pretty much just a steered turn. We're going, quite a lot faster, getting a lot more edge angle and grip. We're starting to use the side cut of the ski a little bit more. We're still rotating a lot in our legs. Okay, and in this case, the track and the snow will be about 10 centimetres. And our feet are actually starting to pass a little bit before the foreline to, get on the outside a little bit more and increase the edge earlier in the turn. So we got short and medium turns, so it might be a little bit different to, carving in your country. But this is like our middle performance, and in Australia we believe that this is probably just the good all mountain performance. If you can make this turn, you can blend these skills in this manner, you can enjoy a lot more of the mountain, ski a little bit faster and enjoy most of the terrain. So yeah, you can see the chart there. Stance and rotary is still very important. We're teaching a little bit more stronger edging movements, and because of the higher speed and more edge angles, the guests feel funny things happen with the pressure underneath their feet. So we've got Chris down here. Other than the footage just there, everything else is in Australia. So yeah, have a little look at our mountains. So Chris is doing a bit of a carved short turn down here, following very soft snow. So yeah, the leg rotation is still quite strong in these sorts of turns. Okay, and with the steered turns, we're more of a rise up to recenter and flatten the skis. In this performance, it's a lot more of a crossover of the body to help increase the edge a little bit earlier in the turn. This is more of a medium turn, just an all-mountain carved performance turn. So crossing over the skis.
So Ben, when I look at this, I see the center of mass being quite flat.
Yep.
Whereas the previous, there was a gradual rise.
Yep.
That I'm assuming that's by design there.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm showing a little bit more of a retraction pressure control movement. So it was quite heavy, sticky, slow spring snow.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just adapting
To the condition.
my movements, but it's still, carved turn. I'm just
yeah.
focusing a little bit more on the pressure control movements. Does that make sense? Yep.
How do you distribute the pressure control over the skis? Is it evenly distributed, or?
Generally thinking, quite even, but naturally because of the physics, I'm on the outside ski more. But yeah, because of those snow conditions, I am trying to feel balance on the rear foot for the stability. So I'm thinking 2 feet, but just naturally I do end up more on
Also
the
with the
outside.
previous turn, the intermediate turn or the basic?
Very 2-footed in the lower end and intermediate. Yeah, we're encouraging a good centered stance with balance even on both feet. Yep. So yeah, it's starting to get a little bit more dynamic here. Okay, and then this is probably what everyone else would see as carving in your countries. So yeah, the tails of the skis are following the exact same path as the tip. And yeah, we're looking at two pretty narrow grooves in the snow. That's our desired look on the snow, the canvas leaving two good lines in the snow. So there's a lot more inclination, but yeah, we're still angulating here in Australia. Yep. And yeah, they're still a lot faster than carved turns. And yeah, our feet are definitely passing a lot sooner in the turn to balance strongly on the outside and help work the ski. Already just at the top there, you can see Chris's two lines on the first turn. Yeah, inclining a good angulated position, feet passing a little sooner. Have another look if you like. So you can see his track up there. Yeah, so there's a lot less emphasis on the rotary. If we can go back 2 slides. Oh, this one. Forward
This
one.
one.
Yeah. Forward, next one. Back one.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
You want this one?
Next one, forward. There we go, yeah, so yeah, there's very little rotation in the legs happening with this turn performance. It's just a slight twisting of the thighs to help with the angulating of the knees in particular. So yeah, we're not twisting at all. It's all done by inclining and angulating and working the skis hard. And yeah, railing. So this is another performance. Generally it's not ideal, but it's good fun to get the guests to try and rail. And introducing carving or pure carving, it's just tipping the skis over a little bit, and yeah, again the side cut will determine, but you're not continually working the ski by inclining or angulating. You're just getting comfortable what it feels like being locked on an edge. So I mean, we all do it, cruising around cat tracks around on the mountain, just rolling, from side to side. And this one leaves a similar track to the pure carve, 2 pretty lines, but yeah, it's not as round. Okay, it's more straight down the hill because we're not inclining or angulating too much. So yeah, we've got our movement analysis system, whether it's a beginner learning telemark movement or a racer trying to pure carve. Okay, we've got to have an appropriate blend of the skills, according to the performance that we're looking for. So yeah, having a good understanding of the skills and performances is going to make it easier for you to improve the guests, and our instructors are trained to use this system. So yeah, first things we look at, is psychological things, their goals, fears, comfort and aggression. So you would have seen in the teaching, it's part of identifying your students and your goals. Okay, we're looking at the physical factors, their athleticism, strength, fitness, fatigue, any injuries, disabilities, age. What equipment they're on is important. You know, is it modern? What sort of bindings are they using? Is it the right size? You know, people want to try a telly, they just borrow someone's. So we've got to take that into account. Their journey progression might take a little bit longer because their boots are pretty big. Snow conditions, yeah, the slope, the gradient, any bumps or variable terrain. So you know, we're thinking about that as we watch the skier down. And yeah. So then, yeah, the next thing we're sort of looking at, and we're going through that quite quickly, it's pretty fast. Hey, I accidentally took them on a hill, maybe it was a little bit too steep, let's try something flatter. I can see potential that they can do it, but I've pushed them up a bit too far maybe. Back, sorry.
Too fast. Sorry.
Yep. So yeah, we're looking at their stance and movement first. Yeah, where's the rotation coming from? Yeah, what are their edging movements and how's their pressure control going? Yes? So we got this sheet and this is really complicated, quite long, but it's what the instructors are examined on. Okay, if they started saying this out on the hill in front of their guests, it wouldn't be very good, it's too much. But this is just how we train them to look at the skills, the performances, and we, you know, as we're training, as we're watching skiers, as we're watching the videos and so on, they're filling out these sheets and, you know, working with them.
Ben,
But again, it's just what, how, why out in the hill, keeping it super simple.
you were saying earlier, it's all vertically integrated through all the different snow sport disciplines.
Yep,
So whether, in this case it says alpine movement analysis sheet,
yep.
that would be right through, say, snowboard, telemark.
This is common in all the disciplines.
Yeah.
There is a sheet that says Telemark, but I accidentally put the wrong one on.
Yeah.
And I knew it, and I just quickly looked over it before I started. I just went,
Well, that's the only thing that changes is the first word.
exactly. Everything else is common to all the not Nordic. They've got a different skill blend happening.
Yeah.
But all the tele, snowboard, adaptive, and what's the other one?
Alpine.
Anything related to the telemark movement is
Stance, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we call it stance and movement. So yeah, on the sorry, the rest of the stance and movement. So yeah, we've got a little video of a skier coming down the hill here shortly. So we're running through that sheet. It's quite complicated, but I'll help you guys out a little bit. So the ideal turn type and performance. Do you think this is a performance or a turn type? No, it's just we're looking at, you know, the skills basically. And the two key skills would be stance and movement, and the pressure control of feeling nice constant pressure on both feet as they're moving through the telemark. So we'll have a little, hopefully you read the things that we believe are important. We can go back to those. So this is what we think is important anyway. So yeah, it's gradual and fluid. Both heels will be on the ski as the feet pass. They're trying to feel constant pressure. Both skis are evenly weighted and balanced. And the upper body and hips remain centered. Not forward, not back. So we'll have a look at this person.
Another day at Trent Valley.
Yep, you've been there. Very busy place. This is where I have to teach telemark movement. Yeah, we can watch through it a couple of times, Sam. But yeah, start thinking about, you know, your soft focus quite quickly. He looks like a pretty fit fella. Comfortable.
That's Pepe, isn't it?
No.
Ah,
So, I mean, I think that terrain's appropriate for the task. His equipment's good. It's an NTN setup, pretty modern equipment. I was with him. I know his boots fit.
Benny, do you mind me asking a question
Yep.
just for comparison?
Yep.
2 days ago, the Swiss offered up some of their technical content, and the one thing that they stated and demonstrated in their diagrams was that as the feet are passing, both heels are up. Yours specifically says both heels are down. Is it for different dynamics of turns or different levels of turns? Is both heels down only for somebody doing a straight run at this level?
At the lower levels,
Okay.
yeah. And more at the upper level, yeah, I guess we haven't really thought about it too much. I mean, if you're making good turns in the high performance,
I just,
Yeah.
because it's written, it
Yeah.
seems to me like maybe that's an absolute.
yeah,
And because in the Swiss side, it was written, like, is that an absolute? And I
it's
guess.
an absolute for our lower levels.
For a little,
I
okay.
say that.
And
Yeah.
that's what you're asking them to be able to demonstrate?
Yeah.
Yeah. And at your lower level, or if you're asking somebody to do a shuffle like this, would you want both heels up or down? Or
Probably not to start with.
Okay.
No. I think it just comes up if you start skiing more dynamically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got the answers here, and hopefully, I should have asked him. Yeah. But yeah, I thought his stance was quite centered, but he tends to pull his rear foot back, and that's pretty much the only leg that's moving. He's not moving the front foot forward quite so much. So the skill I would work on with him would just be the stance and telemark movement. Okay, so yeah, we could do some stationary stuff, just kicking forward with that front foot, like what Chris is doing there. Explaining it again, you know, just having a go at pushing one foot forward maybe. Just a simple, easy thing to try. So any questions about that?
no.
Cool, so we'll have another skier here. So for our basic short turns, our ideal performance is, you know, steered short radius turns, leaving a 30 centimetre track. And it's a good even blend of those 4 skills. So yeah, the other things we're looking for in the body is good separation of the upper and lower body, fast leg turning. Okay, but still the feet passing in the foreline, both heels on the snow, on the ski in the foreline. So you'd be thinking soft focus, physical things, psychological things, equipment, snow. But yeah, you should have probably addressed this when you're meeting the guests, but we still train the instructors. You know, have a look at the things they might have on their body or their equipment. Looking at the skills, what do we think about the stance and telemark movement? I think he's quite centered.
Wow.
I would say they're not centered because they have to move one foot and then the other foot. They're not showing the ability to move both at the same time.
Yeah.
I was thinking along the lines of psychological. If they mess up, they just run over people in the lip line.
T-bar. Yeah, this fella's pretty confident. He skied this hill. Yeah, from personal experience, he's pretty.
Push people to the
We
move.
ski the hill a lot
Yeah.
together. Yeah. What about rotation?
It's got lots of.
Lots of.
Yes. Which body parts?
Lower body.
Fair bit in the hip and upper body. Edging.
Is that a no?
yeah, not a lot, and that's happening, you know, because of that rotation. Pressure, you think he's feeling pressure under both feet fairly constant?
It looks like an initiation, they're more outside ski dominant, but through the finishing phase, there's some equal weight.
Yeah.
The good thing is that it looks to be symmetrical
Yep.
on both sides.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it's
that
a
was
good-
one of
good
the.
start.
Yeah. So yeah, Cole, I forgot that the performance of Cole is skidded to steered. Some turns he's steering a little bit better. A lot of the turns he's skidding whenever the rotation is a little bit more prominent. Okay. Next. So yeah, give him credit. He's steering a bit. Quite confident, I thought. He's giving it a go. He's got a bit of an old school 75mm setup, crusty broom snow. He's got a backpack on, which might be you know, depending on how much weight's in it, might be making things difficult for him. So yeah, his feet quite forward. You know, his movement's happening. His feet are passing quite early in the turn. The hip and whole body rotation, there's very little separation. Edging's late because his movement's a little bit too fast. He needs to take a little bit more time with it to engage the edges. And yeah, he loses a bit of pressure because of the fast feet happening. So yeah, I think we'd work on the stance and his telemark movement, breaking it down there first. I think once he's got a better clue of the movement, we'll be able to work on the rotation next. But yeah, the slower movement will help him turn his legs a lot better, make the edging easier and the pressure.
So the first part is your analysis.
Yep.
The second part is the development. You're going to select the hard focus, stance and movement to work on.
Yep, on that
Because you
sheet.
believe it's
Yep.
the best to improve that skier.
Yep. So
Nice.
you check those boxes if it were an exam.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, next. So we got the next one. Same slope. Steered short turn. So yeah, just a bit of a, yeah, I forgot the other guy, you know, let's try a run without the backpack as well. Forgot.
Put it in the front.
Yeah.